Hi RWL fans, just a quick reminder of upcoming events during our 2025 Sweet Revenge Tour. Coming up Wednesday, August 6th, a 1-hour RWL Ladies Night with the best of the ladies roster. Saturday, August 9th will be RWL Snarl with Wally Cardill and his team. And Monday, August 11th, RWL Rage with Don Hickson and his crew. All happening this coming week on the RWL YouTube channel.
Up next, this week appearing in an unusual six-man tag, the Unholy Trinity, Dirty Dutch Mantel, Primetime Bobby Mills, and Big Bob Duncan, all in a trio, facing the Texas Hangman Killer and Psycho, and Hangman Tex Lynch himself.
For a semi-retired guy, he's been awfully busy the last couple of weeks, hasn't he?
Up next, ladies and gentlemen, a six-man tag team match scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, at a combined weight of 785 pounds, Big Bob Duncan, Primetime Bobby Mills, and Dirty Dutch Mantel, they are the Unholy Trinity.
You really got to admire Primetime Bobby Mills. I'm surprised he's in this match. I'm surprised he's even walking. After the beating he got in his last match with the Vandal Brothers, getting his head crunched against the ring post. He had to be helped out of here off camera during the break. Nobody saw it, but Primetime Bobby Mills had to be assisted to the back.
Nonetheless, Primetime Bobby Mills medically cleared to compete by Dr. Beverly Sims Barnett, RWL staff physician. And if she says it's okay, well then, Primetime Bobby Mills is part of this six-man tag team match.
Well, I don't like the Trinity's chances any more than I like the Trinity themselves. But breaking it all down, these guys have been catching a lot of beatings from the Vandal Brothers, and Primetime can't be at anything close to 100% after getting his brain scrambled by Ace Vandal. Primetime is going to be the weak link in the Trinity's chain, going up against a fresh team of the Texas Hangmen and Hangman Tex. Don't be surprised if Primetime ends up sidelined.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 847 pounds all, hailing from the great state of Texas, representing the MJ Ferrantino group, Killer. And Psycho, the Texas Hangman, and Hangman Tex Lynch, the Toxic. Texan Trinity.
The Toxic Texas Trinity, only from the mind of Hangman Tex Lynch. Killer and Psycho, the Texas Hangman, reconstituted and brought back by Hangman Tex Lynch, and he'll be participating in this matchup against the Unholy Trinity. Alright, it's going to be Dutch Mantel, and as per the Texas Hangman rule, Killer always starts first. Referee Walt Rothburn sounds the bell. Killer charges, misses with the clothesline, catches a kick from Dutch Mantel, a clothesline over the top rope and out onto the floor goes Killer. Dutch Mantel from the top crashes and burns on the high-risk maneuver. Killer countered again by Dutch Mantel. They lock up. Killer shoves him down. Dutch Mantel gathered up again. A jawbreaker. A clothesline with absolutely no effect on Killer. Dutch Mantel countered by Killer. Dutch Mantel counters Killer as the referee continues to count. A series of hard right hands on the head of Killer from Dutch Mantel. Dutch takes him down. Dutch Mantel certainly not afraid to get his hands dirty when necessary. Hence his participation in this six-man tag. Killer tags him with a series of shots. Dutch Mantel counters again. Dutch Mantel drives him headfirst into the ring post. I'm sure Tex isn't singing now. Here's another shot. Headfirst into the ring post from Dutch Mantel as Killer is rolled back inside the ring. Tex going to looking angrily at Dutch Mantel. There's an elbow from Killer. He gets a hold of Dutch, has him up in the fireman's carry. Primetime Bobby Mills wanting to get involved here. The referee says, oh, no, you don't. Here's a cover. 1, 2. But only a 2. Hangman Tex Lynch rallying the fans here in Calgary. Here's a tag. Here comes Big Bob Duncan. Bobby Duncombe rounded up by Killer into a backbreaker. Killer escorting Bob Duncombe towards his team's corner. Here's the tag to Psycho, and Psycho taking over now. Bob Duncombe sweeps the leg, takes him down to the canvas. Big Bob Duncombe rounds up Psycho. Psycho with an arm drag. Duncombe counters, gets a hold of him, belly-to-belly suplex, center of the ring. Big Bob Duncombe dragging Psycho towards center ring. Paces around. Prime time Bobby Mills brought in here on the tag. Let's see how he fares. Oh, well, there's a back body drop to start things off. Prime time Bobby Mills. Psycho drags him towards center and starts to work on the arm of prime time Bobby Mills. Drags him around a little bit more towards the Texas Hangman's corner. Here comes the Hangman himself, Tex Lynch, the daddy of the bunch. Hangman Tex Lynch countered by primetime Bobby Mills. Primetime gets a hold of him, whips him towards his team's corner, the Toxic Trinity's corner. Hangman Tex Lynch declines the invitation, says, "Oh no you don't." Counter whips primetime Bobby Mills towards his team's corner. And here comes Killer again, and boom! Air-assisted crossbody. And here comes Big Bob Duncombe again. Duncombe catches a clothesline and a trip to the outside, courtesy of Killer. Killer all the way up on the top turnbuckle here, 10 feet up and 10 feet down, and a crash and burn, a failure to launch on the high-risk maneuver. Big Bob Duncombe winds up the arm on Killer. Killer counters with an elbow. Tries with a clothesline. Duncombe puts on the brakes and slams him down. One-arm slam. Big Bob Duncombe rounds him up, winds Killer up, winds up the arm, catches an elbow to the face from Killer. Duncombe counters again with a kick to the leg. Killer counters with a hard right, a jab to the midsection. Primetime Bobby Mills getting involved here, drives a knee into the head of Killer. Bob Duncombe resuming control of things, and Killer has been on the outside for some time and catching quite a bit of punishment at the hands of the Unholy Trinity. Kick to the midsection from Killer on Bob Duncombe. Duncombe counters with a kick to the midsection. Killer opens up with a series of rights and a kick to Duncombe. Duncombe shoved to the opposing corner towards the barricades on the outside. The referee continuing to count. Duncombe counters with a shot and an elbow. Killer counters with a forearm. A series of right hands, a kick to the leg of Bob Duncombe. Head first into the ring post goes Bob Duncombe. Bob Duncombe rolled back inside the ring by Killer. Killer rounds him up. A knee right to the head from Big Bob Duncombe. Duncombe rounds him up. Fireman's carry from Killer. A hard right. Killer with a DDT on Big Bob Duncombe. Killer with a stomp to the head of Duncombe. And look at this here, a stump puller. Possible submission here. The referee checking Duncombe, asking what he wants to do, but look at this, rolls him out. Finds his way out of the hold. Bob Duncombe catches a kick. Up over the shoulders goes Duncombe. Michinoku driver. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. One. But only just a one. Primetime Bobby Mills breaking up the pin. Gets an arm drag on Psycho. Here comes Hangman Tex Lynch on the tag. Psycho with elbows to the midsection of Primetime. Tex Lynch with a right on Duncombe, a knee to the midsection. Oh, hung up on the top rope by Bob Duncombe. Tex Lynch sweeps the leg of the fellow Texan. Rounds him up. Duncombe with a shoulder tackle. And there's chaos on the outside as well. Primetime Bobby Mills working on one of the Texas Hangmen. I'm not sure which one it is. Hangman Tex Lynch gets a hold of Duncombe, whips him to his team's corner. He rebounds out impactfully. There's a stomp to the head. The Hangman flips him over, flip over neck whip. Up Duncan. Shoves him away. Dutch Mantel on the outside. Working on one of the Texas Hangmen. Here comes Primetime Bobby Mills again. Hangman takes Lynch. Catches a kick to the midsection from Primetime. He counters Primetime. Fails to connect with the drop kick. Primetime Bobby Mills. With a hold on, Hangman takes Lynch. Tex counters with some elbows to the midsection of Primetime Bobby Mills. Primetime rounded up by Tex into a DDT. And oh, what the hell's going on here? Oh no, the Texas Hangman, both Killer and Psycho and Hangman Tex Lynch going to take Primetime for a triple power bomb ride. And oh, he certainly didn't need that. He is going to require medical attention after that one. Hangman Tex Lynch covers. Hooks the leg. This is probably over. 1, 2. Absolutely unbelievable. Primetime Bobby Mills powering out of that triple power bomb. A knee to the head of Hangman Tex Lynch. Primetime Bobby Mills wisely beats it out of town, turns it over to Dutch Mantel. Takes down Tex Lynch with an elbow. Tex winds him up. Shoulder tackle. Hangman Tex Lynch drags Dutch Mantel towards his team's corner. Hangman Tex turns it over to Psycho. Dutch Mantel with a grip on Psycho. Dutch Mantel counter. Here's a kick to the back. Dutch Mantel in trouble being stalked. Psycho's got him up over the shoulder. Fireman's carry. Michinoku driver center ring. Here's a cover. 1, 2, 3, and that is it. The Texas Hangman plus Hangman Tex Lynch defeating the Unholy Trinity by pinfall.
Here's the time, 9 minutes and 4 seconds. Here are your winners, the Texas Hangmen.
Well now, let's do a quick assessment of what we just saw. The Texas Hangmen, with Tex Lynch in there with Killer and Psycho, putting more hurt sauce on the Unholy Trinity on behalf of MJ Ferrantino. And it looks like Primetime Bobby Mills might be out of commission for the rest of the summer, based on what the doctor says. But that triple power bomb had to have just Rigby wrecked Primetime Bobby Mills. And it ends with Hangman Killer with the pinfall over Dutch Mantel. You know Tex is proud as hell of those two.
He's got to be. The Texas Hangman picking up this win over the Unholy Trinity. And we'll be right back with more RWL Rage right after the break.